Hello, my brothers and sisters. God bless everybody. Just wanted to let everybody know everything's going to be okay. Everything is necessary. Everything works together for our good. And everything happens for a reason and for a purpose. You know, conflict is necessary. And sometimes conflict will expose the heart of the people who are being afflicted. You know, so many times God will use our pain and our conflicts and our trials and demons and satanic attacks to expose the things that he wants out of us, or the things that he wants us to come forward in us. I remember Paul prayed 3 times. He asked God to remove the thorn in his flesh. Some people say it was an eye ailment. Some people say that it was something happening with his lower back. He had a thorn in his flesh. And he sought the Lord 3 times, and God finally at the 3rd time said, Paul, I'm not going to remove it. He says it's necessary. He says, because what I want to do is I want to show you that my grace is more powerful than always just giving you a yes in your prayers. My grace is sufficient. There was a story about Abraham's wife, Sarah. Y'all remember her? She didn't have faith that God was going to give her a baby in her old age. So she said she gave her servant, a black woman named Hagar, to her husband, Abram, and they had a child. And that black woman began to antagonize her, to tease her, to talk bad about her. So one day after she had the baby, after the baby was born, which was Ishmael, Sarah packed her a bag, her and that boy, and sent them out of the house. But it wasn't time for them to leave. God wanted them to stay there, and God wanted that conflict and that pain to happen to Sarah. And so when the angel saw Hagar and the child Ishmael out in the desert, the angel gave them some water to drink and said, go back. So many times we want to get out of a trial or out of a conflict. We want this conflict here in America to end. We want it to be over with. But it's working something good out in us. It's bringing out the best in us. It's helping to expose the ugly side of America, and it's also helping to expose the good side of America. But in the end, when the dust settles, when it's all said and done, America's going to shine forth as more polished, as more clean, as more pure. You understand? So, yes, we want it to be over. It's necessary. It's necessary to do some spring cleaning in your house. It's necessary to just, sit down as a family and talk stuff over, get it out there. And yes, it's going to hurt some hearts. It's going to bring out some tears. It's going to bring out some pain. It may even bring out some yelling, whatever. But in the end, it's all been laid out on the table. And this ugly side of America, which is the racist side of America, you got to understand, America had a birth defect from its inception. Understand? America was born with a birth defect. Whites and blacks came over here to America together. The Europeans came over with black slaves, and we were all one family, and we built this country and made it great. But that one birth defect, that the black man was a slave and the white man was a slave owner, that birth defect has not been corrected nor healed. And this is the thing that's still afflicting America today. And so it's good. It's good that I have been afflicted. Y'all heard that from David. It's good that I have been afflicted, because sometimes in the affliction, you can see a greater hand of God. You can see, nobody wants to go through it. Nobody wants to go through a trial. Nobody wants to go through pain and all this kind of stuff. No. But God allows it in our lives because it's necessary. I got a question the other day on Facebook, and it was thought-provoking, and I liked it. I love to be provoked in thought. I love it. And I love to have conversation with people who are thinkers. To just go along with the narrative of TV and people's emotions, that's not thinking. You're thinking like the crowd. I like a person who has a provocative thought, their own thought. I love it. I love intellectual people. I love people who have their own thought. It's unique and it's beautiful. But I was asked a question on Facebook, and the question was, why didn't God kill Cain? When God put the mark on him, God didn't kill him. And that was a great question. And one of the reasons is, is that there was two bloodlines that God wanted to go forth in America and throughout the world. God wanted two bloodlines to remain in the earth. There was the righteous bloodline of Noah. God saved that bloodline. And the descendants of Noah, they were to be the bloodline that brings forth the Messiah. The other bloodline, which is the bloodline of Cain, their descendants were to bring forth, which is to be the seed of darkness, and their bloodline is to bring forth the Antichrist. But God let that bloodline remain here because that wicked bloodline of Cain was used by the hand of God to test, to prove, to bring forth and test the genuineness of the faith of the righteous bloodline seed. What am I saying? What I'm saying is that God uses people who come at you, they test you, they lie on you, they just bring all types of hell against you, and that is designed by God to bring out the best in you, to see if your faith is genuine, to see if you truly love God or not. All right? And so America's going through a test. America's going through a test, and it's good that we're going through a test. But eventually it's going to settle. And those who have had faith in God and who have had faith in this country, they're going to rise to the occasion. They're going to go back to work. They're going to clean up their streets, and they're going to open their businesses up again, and they're going to, sit their families down and unite their families and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to keep on moving forward. But the people who don't have genuine faith, they're going to keep on hurting. They're going to keep on looking back at the past, and they'll never want to heal. They'll always want to be conflicting, and they always want to be afflicting. They want to hurt because they're hurt, and they'll never forgive, and they'll never heal. But you know what? Let's move forward, folks.